Here we go then. Welcome back, everyone. It's Jack Reeve. It's Talk Norwich City. It's West Brom against Norwich City. And it's live. How are we all doing? Cold January, Tuesday evening. Warm your cockles by sticking this on your iPad, on your phone. Why not? Stick it on your telly and have the game on your phone as I sort my collar, as I see myself for the first time on the camera. Sort the egg and cress out. Let's look respectable for the camera. Here we go. Really looking forward to this one, coming off the back of a fantastic win against Wrexham on Saturday. And let's take a look actually at tonight's team. That should be fun to do. Couple of changes from Mr. Clement. Look at that, looking pretty in pink this evening, assuming we're wearing the pink kit tonight. Pink to make Jovan McCarmer wink. Vladan Kovacevic in goal, Kellen Fisher, Rory McConville and Harry Darling. Darling coming in for Jose Cordoba. Ben Grisene at left back. That left back role is getting interesting now that we hear that Lucio Mahovo is out for a few months. They may have to dip into the market because we know that Ben Grisene is struggling to see out 90 at the moment. And we don't want to get in a position again when we've got no left back and we're having to play Tony Springett there. They were good times. Pel Matson and Kenny McLean ever present in the middle of the park. Tony Springett on the right-hand side, replacing Matej Jurasek. Joshka Schwartau starts in the 10. Ali Ahmed, new signing, out on the left-hand side. And that man, Jovan McCarmer, in the number 9. Still no Josh Sargent in the squad. I'm fascinated to see how that develops over the coming weeks. And I guess the other bit of transfer gossip, and it's especially present this evening due to Bodo Glimt playing earlier against Manchester City. Let's take a look at this man here. Kasper Ho? Who you may ask. Yes, 25-year-old striker. Norwich City being heavily linked with him today. He played against Manchester City and he scored 2 goals in the first 25 minutes. So I'm sure that has stuck his transfer value up by a couple of million quid. I'm going to have a full video on this probably tomorrow at some stage. But it's really interesting because Jovan McCarmer is your first choice. One assumes that Matthias Kvistgaarden is your second choice striker. Now, that's all we've got at the moment. Josh Sargent, who knows what's going on? I think it's probably a toss-up 50-50 whether he leaves. The fact that they're looking at Kasper I don't know, Kasper, says to me that they're wanting to strengthen in that department anyway. I think we heard it from Philippe Clement, didn't we? That he wants some support in that area. So keep an eye on that one. Mixed reports, but his goal-scoring record is pretty fantastic over the last 12 months. Was the top scorer in the Europa League last year. Scored a couple of goals against Manchester City this evening, so he can't be too much of a mug. Let's see how that one develops. I'll have a full video on that tomorrow. But more pressing matters, Norwich City taking on West Brom in a really important championship game. I think if you look at the table as it flicks around, I think a win here tonight puts us just a point behind West Brom. You start to drag other teams back in with you, which will be important. As we look to progress up the table and ultimately get out of the mess that we're in. Let's take a look at some of the comments, shall we? A big thanks to Fraser for your super chat. £20 to the Big C when Big Mac scores again. Ole, ole. Well, that's very kind of you, Fraser. I think you might be stumping up 20 quid to the Big C. The form that Jovan McCarmer is in, I mean, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? There's also, that I'm going to drop tomorrow, there's some really interesting prices being released by BetRight. 25-1, Jovan McCarmer to be the championship top scorer. That's over on their website. I'll share the links for that tomorrow. That looks a real price considering he's just one behind the top scorer at the moment. Right, get your comments in ahead of this evening. Flaxter, great to see you too, my friend. Mark Cooper, will we win? I hope so. I hope so. West Brom under new management. They did lose on Friday night against Middlesbrough in the first game under the Ramsey era. Absolutely chucking it down at the Hawthorns. So anyone who's made the trip to the Midlands, I hope you're dry under the roof. Let's see. Where's Chris? It's a great question, Jordan. Chris is fair weather. Can you get him up for a Tuesday night against West Brom in the cold, in the dark? I can't. Maybe we need some motivational chatter from Philippe Clement in order to get him on the watch along. Great to see you, Skillsy. How are you, my friend? Evening all. I think it might be a Desmond, a little 2-2. Okay. I think I'd take a point. My viewpoint is always win your home games, draw your away games. Just keep that momentum ticking. And I think in the Championship, that will get you a long way. Poke Family TCG UK. Poker fam, as in Pokemon, I guess that is. Trading card games UK. Evening, Jack. Tough one to call tonight. I'd love a 2-1 win, but can see a score draw. Yeah, I think I'd take a score draw. Graham, I'm thinking a goal and assist for Ali Ahmed. That would be nice. I was impressed with his debut. And I was saying on the podcast the other day, sorry, I'm doing dry January, by the way. Going strong. So I'm on the chamomile tea this evening. Very different. But chamomile tea is meant to be good for your sleep, isn't it? So if I start snoozing off, it's not the performance. Or it may well be the performance. Maybe it's the tea instead. Teams coming out as we speak. Rob Watson, 2-1. Diallo screamer late on. Yeah, just on Diallo, on Ali Ahmed, on Matej Jurisic. For me, particularly the left side, but the lack of wide options this season has been a real issue for us. We've gotten good players and we've been playing players out of position or players not good enough quality there. So the fact that we've now got, the bench, you've got Chris Garden, you've got Slavana, you've got Diallo, you've got Jurisic, you've got Jacob Wright. I look at that bench and I go, oh my goodness, we've actually got depth here for once, which I haven't been able to say too often this season. I think it makes a massive difference, particularly in these closely fought affairs where it's going to be nip and tuck 60, 70, 80 minutes in. You look back to Stoke, you look back to Watford at home. Those games were ultimately decided with our lack of options off the bench. I think if we play Watford and Stoke now, even with one new addition and Papa Amadou Diallo back in the side and fit, I don't think we lose those games. I'm not saying we win them, but I don't think we lose them. I think the ability to have good quality substitutions 70 minutes into a game can make such a difference. I think it paid dividends against Wrexham, and I think it will pay dividends from now until the end of the season. This is a really interesting one. I've not really had too much time to kind of think about it or talk about it. By the way, that pink kit is looking absolutely glorious in Jovan McCarman. My goodness me, it's bright. With the pink underlay on as well. Underlay. Excellent stuff. 21 years old, Jovan McCarman. You forget, don't you, just how young he is because he's such a unit. What was I saying? Something informative and insightful, I suspect, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, little time to think about tonight's game because of the intensity of the turnarounds this time of year. But this is I think I was assuming 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was like, West Brom will be in with a shout with the playoffs. Not really, I wasn't really paying much attention to other teams because all my attention, as always, is focused on Norwich City. And now I'm looking at it going, bloody hell, if we win here tonight, they're in a proper relegation scrap. Just keep on pulling teams into it. That's the good way to get out of it. Just put more teams in trouble. Hopefully, something will come of that. And that is the hope. Big game. Kellen Fisher, Rory McConville, Harry Darling, Crescene, Matson and McLean, Springett, Schwartau, Ahmed. I like Schwartau in that number 10, by the way, and I think Philippe Clement does as well. It would be nice to see him in his preferred position. Don't forget, he's only 19 years old. And Jovan McCarman in the number 9. We are underway here on the TMC watch-along. It's West Brom against Norwich City at the Hawthorns. Here we go. Get your score predictions in the comments. Not many people at West Brom by the looks of it. I think there's a good few in the away section, but lots of empty seats in the home section. Let's make this count tonight. Let's go out here, find an early goal, and dominate the game. That would make me incredibly cheerful. Yeah, this pink kit is something else. It really is. Nice little touch by Kenny McLean. He's been brought down. I was watching a video this morning. I think it was of West Brom at home last season. Was it 2-0? Sargent and I know it was Johnny Rowe, I think. So maybe it was the season before. But Kenny McLean in that game, excellent run, excellent through ball, Sargent goal. And it just got me thinking how I still think underrated Kenny McLean is. He's ever present. He's always impactful. He's always remained professional, and he's a leader. And I think that's a really difficult asset class to find in football nowadays. So Kenny McLean, I think underrated. Norwich City free kick, really poor free kick. That is still getting on my absolute nerves, by the way. Our inability to beat the first man from set pieces as Pell Matson strides forwards. He'll try and find a cross. That's blocked. Some early pressure from Norwich City. Interesting to see Cordoba drop to the bench. I think there's a real selection headache for Philippe Clement with Darling and Cordoba. I think I'd have Cordoba in there, but Darling is. Oh no, bad back pass. Oh, Kovacevic has to come out. Crescene, dearie me, left it horribly short there for Kovacevic. Quick off his line. Wow, maybe the wet pitch having something to do with that. But that was a really suspect pass from Ben Crescene, and it was nearly Josh Madger who crept in. No, it wasn't Madger. It was the number 10. Deary me, I think that's Grant, isn't it? That could have been an embarrassing start 1 minute and 30 seconds into this game. Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Wish we'd kept Sam McCallum due to the injuries. Yeah, McCallum was I liked Sam McCallum. Left back, I think, has been a real struggle for us over the last... I think since probably like Jamal Lewis. I don't think we've had Ali Ahmed down the left-hand side. I think he's won a corner. Yes, he has. Well done, Ali Ahmed. Since Jamal Lewis, that left-back position, but particularly this season, we've really struggled. I mean, that period where Crescene, Mahovo, Jeffrey Schlupp all injured. I mean, if, God forbid, Crescene gets injured again, we're back to the square one because Jeffrey Schlupp is still out, and so is and so is Lucien Mahovo now. So that would probably be an area I'd be looking at in January because we can't get in that situation again. Norwich City corner. Ali Ahmed beats his man. Oh, wow. We've got a set piece taker on our hands. Tony Springett on the right-hand side. Can he deliver across? No, he can't. Blocked. Good early pressure this from Norwich City 3 minutes in. Lovely corner by Ali Ahmed as well. I think my lifetime is about 50 seconds behind. Yeah, it's about, what are we? 10 seconds behind my stream. I'm on Sky Sports Plus. So Chaz Tats, if you're watching, expect a call from me when it inevitably goes down 60 minutes in. I think the only thing I would say about Ali Ahmed, and it's to be expected, right? He's fresh to the English game. He's fresh in this squad. I think his cohesion with the left back on Saturday was lacking. He was kind of like a bit of a headless chicken, I think, and that might take a little bit of time just to ease him in. Know your position, track back when you need to, don't when you don't have to. Just conserve your energy a little bit, because particularly nights like tonight, the pitch is going to be super heavy with that rain. Championship's demanding. You need to be canny, and ultimately that goal against Wrexham came from that side, didn't it? So I'm sure with one of the best head coaches in the Championship in Philippe Clement, he will be absolutely fine. This is a really nice start from Norwich. And look, let's have a little Philippe Clement fan club moment. I was looking back through the record this morning of this season, and I think it's tough to forget, but we should try and forget how bad that run under Liam Manning was, and just how awful it was. I remember vividly sat here on a Tuesday evening with Chris, the watch along against Sheffield Wednesday, and that like a derby, those midweek away games, we were absolutely stinking, honking. And I'm just watching, even in the first 5 minutes, the structure, the press, the willingness is night and day. And people keep going, "Oh, Jack, why are you harping back?" Because you sometimes have to remember how bad it was in order to appreciate how much better it is now. And I think that's important. I see that Manning's got a job at Huddersfield. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see what he does there. I still kind of hold the belief that, he can't be a bad coach, after what he did at Bristol City. But my goodness, did it all go wrong at Norwich. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Manning at Huddersfield. A drop in class, but still, expectations are high for Huddersfield in League One. So we shall see how Mr. Manning gets on. I wish him all the best. But again, it must have a brilliant agent because he's somehow negotiated a long-term deal there. So getting paid by Norwich City still. He'll be getting paid by Huddersfield. That was a heavy challenge of Ali Ahmed. Tell you what, he's not afraid of a tackle, Ali Ahmed, is he? Still 0-0 in this one. Welcome along to the TNC watch-along. Oh, brilliant work from Oscar Schwartau to snatch it back. There's an opportunity here for Schwartau. Oh, unlucky. Did really well to press high up the pitch and win the ball back. And nearly got himself in a shooting opportunity. 0-0, West Brom, Norwich City. Welcome along to the TNC watch along. If you're new to Talk Norwich City, then welcome. This is the #1 fan channel for Norwich City. We chat lots of nonsense here. But it's a pleasure to have you. All Norwich City so far. I suspect the match stats will flick around in a moment. I expect to see Norwich City dominating the possession numbers. Oh, Pell Matson, I tell you what, him in the middle of the park, he is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Fantastic work from Pell Matson. He's like that little Jack Russell, just constantly yapping, nipping at your ankles. The type of play you absolutely despise coming up against in five-a-side because you think you have a yard of space and bang, there they are. Oh, there's Pell again, nicking the ball back. Little pest. He's our pest. Excellent to see. Yeah, keep an eye on the Huddersfield press conferences. Get your Liam Manning bingo card out. I think the word behaviours being said in the first 30 seconds will be a short price. Behaviours. What else did he like to say? Moments. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those. The boys. I'll never forget when he said nothing will change if you sack me. It was mental at the time. It's still even more mental. Yeah. I still haven't... have we got any Scandies in here to tell me how to pronounce our striker that we're interested in? I'm going to go with Ho at the moment. No, I can't say that, can I? Who? I'm going to go with Who, but that sounds confusing. Anyway, the lad that scored twice, you all know what I'm talking about. The number 9 from Bodo Glimt scored twice against Manchester City in 25 minutes this evening. We are apparently interested. I'm going to kind of try and break it down on a video tomorrow, but I'm just intrigued to see how, in general, the rest of this window plays out in that striker position. We've got 2 without Sargent, in Makama and Chris Garden. I don't know if he rates Chris Garden. It's just something, goes kind of lacking minutes and got the game against Walsall and, then followed up without seeing him against Wrexham. So I don't know. I'm not sure what will happen with him. But ultimately, and this is what I'd say, I'm approaching all foreign imports under Ben Napper with a huge degree of caution because of, Mate Jurisic, Ante Sienats, Jakov Medic et al. But it's not our money. So if the Atanasios want to spend 7 million quid on a backup striker, then be my guest. I'd rather that than nothing. So I think it's interesting to see how it pans out. I still think it's 50-50 on whether Sargent leaves. I think the tough thing for Sargent in terms of getting out of the club is no other party seems interested. It's just Toronto. I tell you what, this is really good pressure from Norwich here. And Pell Matson has a chance to glide forward. Ali Ahmed out to Ben Crescene. Can he find a cross? No, he can't. Once again, well done from Ben Crescene to win it back. The pitch looks really tough up there tonight, really damp. Crescene to whip one, and it's blocked. And it's Ali Ahmed. And there's Pell Matson again. I'm going to say that a few times tonight. Ali Ahmed, opportunity to take his man on. Instead, he'll come back. All of this has come from the fact that Norwich City have pressed high and won the ball back once more. And now there's an opportunity for Oscar Schwartau. Oh, he tries to find Makama. Should have maybe had a shot blocked. And once again cleared. Oh, that was a good opportunity for Oscar to just get his laces through that one. Yeah, I think the thing with Sargent is, I think it's going to take Toronto to stump up 20 odd million quid. Otherwise, I just don't see it happening. Will there be another club interested late on in the window? Maybe. I don't know where, though. I don't think it's Premier League. I don't think he wants to go back to the Bundesliga. I think he's got his eyes set on the MLS. And if it's not Toronto, I don't know who it is. So my gut says he goes, but I don't know who to, and I don't know what for. So, it's a really tough one to call. I think regardless of whether Sargent stays or goes, I think Clement wants another striker, which is interesting because I think he also wants a 10. Although, do you maybe find someone that can play kind of both? You've got Schwartau, you've got Wright, you've got arguably Chris Garden, who can play in the 10. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. I think we need quality. I think we do need another winger. I don't love the fact that we have to rely on Jurisic or Springett. I like Tony Springett. I think he gives his absolute all, but I don't think he's got the quality. I'm still really not convinced on Mate Jurisic, I'm afraid. But we'll see. We'll see. And I think we need another central midfielder because if McLean or Maatsen gets injured, then yes, you can play Jacob Wright there. Yes, you've got Liam Gibbs, but he's injury prone. So I think we definitely need another body in there. That's a fantastic header for Rory McConville. Back to Vladan Kovacevic. 0-0, West Brom, Norwich City, 12 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Norwich in pink tonight, looking pretty in pink. Very bright pink as well. Let's have some chamomile tea to calm the nerves. Although, not a huge amount to be nervous about at the moment. This has been a bright start from Norwich. No real clear-cut chances, but I'd say we've had more of the ball. Let's see if we had more of the ball. We have had more of the ball. I'm an absolute genius, aren't I? 0 shots in the game. What are we all up to tonight? I've still not had my dinner. I'm absolutely starving. Oh, that's a bad challenge on Kenny McLean. Let's have a booking in there, ref. Take some control. Yeah, about time as well. Naughty little challenge that from their number 4, Kenny McLean, breaking away. It's been a little bit of space in the middle of the park. That's a horrible challenge of Kenny McLean. Deserved the booking and maybe more. That's a booking. Where's Chris? Chris is at home, giving him a night off. Struggling with the workload. So, got to ease him back in. Got to watch his minutes. Good behaviours, etc. Ben Crescene will come back to Darling. Norwich on the ball again. It's all rather fun so far. Canary Jerry eating some bird's eye potato waffles. My goodness. I know some people that toast their potato waffles. Seems really rogue to me. Like, stick them in the oven. The other thing I'm just not having, by the way, air fryers. I'm not having it. Keep hearing people banging on, oh, air fryers. Oh, save you so much money in electric. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but you spend 150 quid in the first place. Why? Just use your oven. Such a fad, the air fryer. Or what would you call it? Air oven. Air fryer. I don't know what it is. Chris has been put with the under-21 for bad behaviour. No, it's more of a Mate Jurisic situation with Chris. Just managing minutes, managing the workload. Unfortunately, tonight, I'm not even going to be able to bring him off the bench. But, he's at home watching, seeing how it's done. And we'll bring him back in for the podcast next week. A few people bigging up their air fryers. Expected better of you. Yeah, even says on the waffles box that you can cook them in the toaster. Yeah, it just feels wrong, though. Potato waffle in the toaster. Nah, not for me. Put it in the oven. Need a bit of crisp. Oscar Schwartau from Oscar Schwartau with the goal. Stick your potato waffles wherever you wish. Oscar Schwartau is in the building. Bah! Have some of that. Wow. God, I was getting really excited about some potato waffles in the oven, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see Oscar Schwartau darting towards the 18-yard box. I said earlier, he's in a good position. Put your laces through it. My goodness me, as he put his laces through that one. He's hit that like an absolute traction engine. Brilliant stuff from Oscar Schwartau in the number 10. Lovely ball from McLean. Picks his head up and just whacks it into the bottom corner. Norwich City 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Philippe Clement ball. You better watch out. That's a really nice goal from Oscar Schwartau. I tell you what, you fancy him in the 10, don't you? Oh, that's a fantastic goal. Fantastic goal from the 19-year-old. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The watch-along curse. I'm not even going to whisper it tonight. It might be over. Granted, we did win the last game, didn't we? I think that was against QPR on the watch-along. But that is a stunning, stunning strike from Oscar Schwartau. You fancied him centrally. And this is what I said earlier. Playing, having players in the right positions. The ability to have Ali Ahmed on the left means that you can play Oscar Schwartau in the preferred position. Win. Oscar Schwartau's been on the left-hand side and he's been fine there. I think he's looked really tired in recent weeks because he's had to play 90 minutes every single week out of position. But you stick him into the 10 and that happens. That was a brilliant moment, wasn't it? Winning on a watch-along. We are indeed. Oh, that was brilliant. Oscar Schwartau. That was an absolutely stunning strike. And actually, fully deserved. Fully deserved. We've been on top so far this game. God, oh, that's a push to the back, ref. We'll have a little push there. That's a naughty one from the player. Watch yourself, player. It's your first warning. Excellent stuff. That's good, isn't it? That perks us up on a Tuesday evening. Not having to watch Emmerdale tonight. We've got some actual proper entertainment. What else is on? Probably like Alan Carr and Amanda Holden in some Italian castle or something. No, we've got a Danish superstar in the 10 on my television. Back to the important stuff. Norfolk Plumber says, what did you think about jacket potato and lemon curd? Yeah, that was Barry on Canary Call, wasn't it? I mean, I like jacket potatoes and I like lemon curd. So the optimist in me says it probably works. I don't think I think I'd have to be in a pretty desperate situation in order to put those two things together. But never say never, open mind and all that. Lemon curd is an underrated spread. Really underrated spread. I think it's been lost on the air fryer generation. I think there is a real correlation between people that own an air fryer and don't buy lemon curd. And that is a really sad state of affairs. Go to your local supermarket or your local farm shop and pick up a jar of lemon curd. I don't think I've ever regretted eating lemon curd. On toast. Actually, I think that's how I've only ever eaten it. In a cake, I guess. Lemon curd in a cake. Loads of ways to eat it. On your jacket potato, if you're... Was it Peter on Canary Call? Oh, are we out of the relegation zone yet, by the way? That might stick us out of the relegation zone. I think the last time we were out of the relegation zone was about September, maybe even before that. Hang on. Oh, we're up to 20th. We're up to 20th. How far off top 6 are we? 14 points. I'll tell you what, I've seen stranger things happen. Tuesday, the 20th of January, our target number 9 scoring 2 goals in the Champions League against Manchester City in 25 minutes. Oscar Schwartau scoring from 25 yards. Hello? What price is that with BetRight? Wow. That's got me thinking. 14 points. What's that? Just don't lose a game from now until the end of the season, and we'll be in there. Ali Ahmed, good pressure on the left-hand side. This has been really impressive. And that was excellent from Ali Ahmed. That was excellent from Ali Ahmed. Pressure, high up the pitch, wins the ball back, no one around him. I know what I'll do. I'll win a foul. Brilliant, Ali Ahmed. Great stuff. I've liked what I've seen from the young man so far. Canada. An up-and-coming footballing nation. Simeon Jackson made it popular. And Ali Ahmed took it to the mainstreams. Stephen, thanks for the super chat. If Clement ran me over, I'd say thank you. I don't think you would give Clement a telling off in any situation. He's too scary, you know. He's a fine fellow. Is our Philippe Clement. I still don't quite know how we got him, but actually I do know how we got him. It's a good proposition, and we've got rich owners, so that's exactly how we got him. Money. Got to take my kind comments of that back about Ali Ahmed there as he floats a free kick deep into the grandstands. What do you think about Jacob Wright in the number 10? Yeah, I like Jacob Wright. I like him a lot. I think Oscar Schwartau at the moment would be my go-to number 10. I tell you what, Norwich have been excellent at winning the ball high on the pitch tonight. We're just forcing West Brom into mistakes. Talking about Oscar Schwartau, it was another horrible foul on him. Another booking in the book for West Brom. They can't deal with Norwich at the moment. This has been a really impressive opening 22 minutes. Really impressive. Jacob Wright, look, fantastic option to have. I like him a lot. I think he's a good professional. I mean, we filmed the podcast with him in the summer. All the talk was he's going to be the next Norwich City captain. And for whatever reason, this season hasn't quite worked out for him. But, being able to say, oh, is it Schwartau? Oh, is it Wright? Oh, is it whoever we sign in the January transfer window? That's a pretty good position to be in. And this is also a pretty good position to be in. Free kick will be whipped in. Big Job's in there. Rory McConville's in there. Harry Darling's in there. Whipped in. Oh, didn't beat the first man. It was a nice ball from Oscar Schwartau. That was a devilish little one flying into the front post. John Boy needs to capitalise. Get another goal or two. Well, on top, I agree. In the Championship, make your domination count because you know that when you're up against teams and they have poor periods, it's not going to last the full 90. I thought a prime example of that was Stoke at our place. I thought they were pretty average for the first 45, and then they just had that little flick of quality in the last 20 minutes. The game's gone. It's 2-0. So make it count while you're on top. I think that's the key thing. This is the kind of insight you'll hear from Ian. What will you do when you need to go to the toilet? Where's Chris? Well, I will go to the toilet and I will leave you all with nothing to do. And you'll have to entertain yourselves as Oscar Schwartau goes into Kellen Fisher. I tell you what, it's all Norwich at the moment. Where's Chris? He's at home. I'm managing his minutes. And Ian says, I liked lemon curd when I was a kid, but now I'm not so fussed. Funny how taste buds change, isn't it, over the years? Funny how it changes. I think I've gone the other way with all food. There were some foods I didn't like as a kid. Now I absolutely love. I'm trying to think of an example. Salmon being one. Didn't really like salmon as a kid. Now I could eat salmon all day, every day. Niall says, Jack, what will it take from tonight's game for you to buy an air fryer? Absolutely nothing, Niall. I refuse to buy an air fryer. I've got an oven. Why would I pay extra money to have something that I've already got? That oven's better. That's the other thing. Oh, you can cook a whole roast dinner in an air fryer. No, you can't. You're not getting a full chicken in an air fryer, are you? Like, have some common sense. Oh, you can put a full roast dinner. No, you can't. Stop lying. Stop lying. Hansu Tycoon. Jackie doing the 5K run thing this year. No, I'm not. 5K a day. I did that for 2 years running. I did that all in aid of mine. I think we raised about $3,000 over the 2 years, maybe even 4. 5K a day. I was working from home at the time, which helped. so I can kind of just get out whenever. I don't work at home anymore, and I absolutely destroyed myself doing them. I got really, really bad shin splints on year 2. It's 5K. I run a couple of 5Ks a week. You probably don't think it, but I do. And it's fine. I can run 5K no problem. But doing it every single day for 31 days, you get to about day 15, and there's just no time for recovery, and your body just mine did anyway. It just didn't like me. So it took me a good few months to get rid of the shin splints. It was horrible. If you've had shin splints, they're absolutely horrible when you've got them bad. Fraser says, as a chef, I refuse to get an air fryer. I agree. Lemon curd on toast all the way. Yeah, lemon curd on toast, absolutely elite snack for me. Yeah, I'm glad we've got some air fryer antis in the chat. Aconite, thanks for the super chat, mate. Name the 6 teams that have only spent 1 season in the top division of English football. Ipswich Town, Oldham Athletic, Luton Town, that's 3. Can I have some help on this one, people? Oldham, Ipswich, Luton. I feel like they're 3. Swindon, great shout from Chaz Tats. Blackpool, great shout. That's 5. Who's the last one? Kenny McLean whipped in ball. Derby. Did Derby go straight down, or did they stay up for a season? Oh, I don't think it's Bristol City. Barnsley, were they in the top tier? Maybe back in the day. Not Ipswich. Oh, yeah, no, of course. They would have been. I'm thinking Premier League, aren't I? Football was around pre-Premier League, Jack. Norwich City look good here, by the way. A little bit scrappy, but we're still bossing this game. Brilliant stuff. But let's take some control of this game, ref. I want a few more bookings in here. This Grant, I'm not liking him so far. Very dirty this evening. I mean, Mattson's nipped it back, and he's just pulled it. He's pulled it now. It's a clear booking. I want to see some control from this referee tonight. Name the 6. Okay, so Barnes. 6 teams only spent 1 season. This is proper pub trivia, this, isn't it? 6 teams only spent 1 division, 1 season in the top division. I think Oldham, I think Luton, Swindon's a great shout. Barnsley, that's 4. Ipswich is wrong. Sorry to bring their names up. Kenny McLean, ball. Is it really windy at the Hawthorns tonight? Because everything's just sailing over. Rory! Oh, Rory! Yeah, my boy. Good stuff. I'll let you figure that out between you. I don't know the answer. I gave you all I had there. Big thanks to Canary Man for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I forgot how to talk then. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. Tranmere. Have Tranmere been in the top tier? Cardiff. No, Cardiff have been there more than once, haven't they? Between you, we've gone through the entire 92. FBL Nobby. If we're in for Casper Ho, his price has gone up after tonight. Yeah. I think it was quoted 7 million quid. It's probably double that now. And I thought at the time, like, 7 million quid? Is that a bit steep? And now you see him score against Man City, like, oh my God, if we can get him for 7 million quid, bargain. I still don't know what to make of that link. I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow once I've had a little bit more time to think about it. But I think the striker situation is fascinating, right? Sargent, what happens with him? McCarmer is just your number 9, like guaranteed starter at the moment. Matthias Kvistgaard, I really like. Whether he fits into this system is another matter. He was a signing for Liam Manning. You want Clement to have his own people. It is still absolutely teaming it down at the Hawthorns. It's looking really tricky, this pitch to play on. And then where do you add in this, this Casper fella? I mean, surely he's not going to swap starting for Bodo Glimt over sitting on the bench for Norwich, is he? Like, surely not, unless it's a massive pay upgrade. I just don't see a world where that would be attractive. Oh my God, West Brom are through here. Great save, Vladan Kovacic. That was a barnstorming run from their number 11, Johnston. My goodness, he beat about 4 men there. Just got away from it. It was quick off his line from Vladan Kovacic. He's done really well, Johnston. And Vladan Kovacic has done well as well. He's been sharp off his line tonight, Kovacic. A couple of moments where he's had to be sharp. That was good goalkeeping. Really good goalkeeping. The NCFC supporter, hey Jack, Kenny McLean's contract is up in June. Is it really? I didn't realise. Should we extend it or let him go? I mean, for me, if Kenny wants to stay, you keep him there. He's 33. He still looks fit as a fiddle. I think he's got another few seasons. I am one of Kenny McLean's biggest fans. I think it depends on what he wants to do. He's got a young family. He's been here. Oh, free header from West Brom. He let his man go there. That's an opportunity. That is an opportunity. Oh, that's the score. McConville should do better. Should be 1-1. Big chance for West Brom there. Have to be better from the set pieces. Rari losing his man. That was a really big chance. Aconite Universe coming back in with the answers here. So the question was, 6 teams have spent 1 season in the top flight. Glossop, Swindon, Northampton, Barnsley, Carlisle and Orient. What about Luton? Luton have been in the top tier before, have they? That's one of those where I'd write 6 answers really quickly down in a pub quiz and be dead certain. I'd be with a team of people that maybe don't know so much about sport, and I'd be like, yeah, that's 6 points, guaranteed, done. And then I'd get the answer sheet through and I'd go, no, it's not. No, where's Luton? And Luton have probably been in the top tier. Ali Ahmed, cross it. There we go. Flick it. Oh, God. That was a chance. God, it's getting really slippy, this pitch. I wouldn't mind if someone could just chat to the rain gods here and ask it to stop raining, because I don't want this game to be abandoned. Pell Matson. He just wins that ball back so well. It's another brilliant challenge from Pell Matson. He is everywhere, that guy. Absolutely everywhere. Thanks for the quiz, Aconite. Anyway, that was good fun. Charlton and Blackburn both losing. Yeah, I forget there's other football going on outside of Norwich City. So have a look at the championship scores so far tonight. Ipswich are beating Bristol City. Blackburn's 1-1 now. Just this minute equalised. Oxford drawing 0-0. That's fine. Coventry drawing with Millwall. I tell you, we beat Coventry at Carrow Road on Monday night. Don't say I didn't tell you. Charlton losing, that's a big one. That's a big one. So if results stand, we would be 2 points clear of the relegation zone. We'd go above Blackburn and we'd be a point behind West Brom and 2 points behind Charlton. And I tell you what, it really stacks up then. You're then 4 points behind Swansea, 6 points behind Birmingham. I mean, if you listen to the neutrals this season, you'd assume Birmingham are about 20 points clear. Fascinating, the championship, isn't it? Ezek, yeah, we are still out of the relegation zone by 2 points, by my reckoning. Granted, Portsmouth would have 3 games in hand on us after tonight. They're not playing tonight. Norwich City coming forwards again here, though. I know it's Tony Springer on the right-hand side. Take your man on, whip it in. Couldn't beat his first man. Unlucky, Tony. Sprung that spring. Release the coil. Leicester 9 points. Is that ever happening? I feel like Leicester's 9-point deduction is like the Acle straight. being duelled. Like it's been talked about for the last 50 years and nothing ever happens. I will believe that when I see it. But it would help us because if Leicester get deducted 9 points, they'd be below us. At this rate, boys, I think we're finishing top 6. Oh, dear. Deary me. Ah, Rari McConville, you little beauty. Looks seriously slippery, this pitch. Whoever scores next, and I'm hoping it's Jova McCarmer, I hope he does a massive knee slide. Who was it who had the never-ending slide tackle for England? Was it Sol Campbell? Was it Sol Campbell? I completely made that up. Someone just kept going at Wembley. I don't think it was Sol Campbell, was it? Micah Richards? Oh, I don't know. Sol Campbell, yeah, it was. That's niche knowledge, isn't it? Norfolk Plumber. I came across one of your old videos the other day. Do you still have that painting of the Highland cow? I think you're referring to the painting of Chris and I as Highland cows. Slightly rogue, but yeah, we do. I think it's. Oh, another chance of West Brom. I think it's in the podcast setup somewhere. Maybe we took it down. It's there somewhere. There's some real relics in that podcast setup, I tell you. You sort of peek behind the lights and there's like things from 10 years ago that you go, oh, I forgot we had that. Dennis Shrubeni's hat. Oh, that's unique. Based on his first 12 league games, Philippe Clement would get us a total of 55 points. Highest points total to ever get relegated is 54 back in 2013. I think I was reading somewhere the other day that the standard in the Championship generally is lower this season, but the standard at the bottom end of the table is higher in terms of points per game so far at the bottom. If you take Sheffield Wednesday out of the equation, is much higher than last season. But yeah, I you know, when we're playing like this just isn't a relegation fodder team. And I look at Wrexham, West Brom, then it's Coventry, then it's who is it after that? Cov, and then Middlesbrough away, and then you've got Blackburn at home, Oxford, cup game against these lot again, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday. We've got 4 home games in 5 matches. That's where if you people are fancying top 6, that's where you make up the ground. This was the period where I thought we'd really struggle. Wrexham, not really struggle, but it's tough, right? Wrexham, West Brom, Coventry, Borough, and look, who knows what will happen? Go on, spring it. Oh, he's done well there. Go on, Maatson. It's just got a bit scrappy this game. Yeah, I mean, if we can get something out of tonight, 4 points or 6 points, would be amazing from Wrexham and West Brom. You're really talking there, and that is not many teams are going to go to Wrexham this season and win. Barely any. So you're gaining ground on the fodder in those types of performances. Beating a Sheffield Wednesday or an Oxford. Granted, we've done neither this season, but beating those types of teams, you're not making up ground on the field. Beating a Wrexham, you are. So, yeah, no, look, I'm so bullish on Philippe Clement. I just, you just have to basically do whatever he says. Oh, you want this striker from Bodo Glimt, and he's not even going to start. Yeah, give him, pay 10 million for him if you want. Oh no, West Brom in! Kovacevic, Gavi line! Oh, is he giving a penalty away? No, he's not. Oh, he was offside anyway. Again, really sharp though from Kovacevic off his line. West Brom just growing into this one a little bit. We've got to be careful here. It was a really good opening 20, 25 minutes. But the last 15, they've had a good few chances. It probably should be 1-1. Kovacevic has been called off his line a few times, and he's done well in each occasion. It was Grant on that occasion. He was flagged offside. Oh, it was tight. Yeah, Kovacevic has done really well. This pitch is getting seriously boggy, by the way. Seriously boggy. But yeah, I think with Clement, anything is possible. You know, I'm trying to get rid of the mindset of, oh my goodness, what could we have achieved if he'd have been here from the start of the season? I mean, realistically, from what I think we all know, he probably wasn't available at the start of the season. But just imagine, like, if we'd had a summer window and the full season so far with Clement, we'd be top six. I've absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, you start to spring. It's also, the injuries, which I know Manning had to deal with as well. But the injuries that he's had to deal with, I look back to that Sheffield United game, particularly with interest. He had to play he hadn't even been playing Tony Spring. He had to play Tony Spring again at left back. All right. That is what he had to deal with. Imagine even with a few players back from injury, Diallo being one of them, all right? And a couple of his own signings. He's got his first in Ali Ahmed. Imagine what he could do. Like, he has made a complete down and out team into a competent championship side. I just think with a bit more time and a bit more spending, I'm really, I'm confident. I still don't think we should get complacent with this season because, I fancy Portsmouth and I fancy Blackburn and, Oxford and Charlton to, pick up points here and there. Oxford aren't great, but they'll pick up points. I don't think there's any dross in this league this season other than Sheffield Wednesday, but they're gone anyway. Portsmouth are capable on their day. The same with Blackburn. There's no whipping boys. So we do need to be eyeful. Eyeful, is that a word? I don't think that's a word, but go along with it anyway. I think we need to, we need to have an eye on the people around us, but we should be looking up rather than down. And going to Rex and picking up all 3 points. The home games are still, I think, need to improve. It was a bit of the wind had kind of left our sails after. I tell you what, this pitch is getting really suspect now. The rain is still flying down. Get out. I've got absolute fear of that Blackburn game earlier in the season that got postponed 80 minutes into the game. Sorry, West Brom. I'm mixing my words here. West Brom coming forwards again. That's a corner. It's getting really scrappy in the middle of the park. We do need to be cautious, but I think with a January transfer window that's well executed, we've got a week and a bit left of that, 10 days. You never know, and I think performances like tonight so far will pick you up more wins than not. So, I'm certainly feeling more optimistic about life than I was, 3 months ago under Manning. I mean, that was just horrific, wasn't it? It was just absolutely horrific what we had to witness under Mr. Manning. But you got to feel the lows to feel the highs. Let's just get into half time, 1-0 up now. Oh, we've looked suspect from defending corners. Get it out. Well done, Ben. Let's get into half time now. This has been a really scrappy last 15 minutes. We've barely had a foot on the ball. Oh, Tony Spring nearly nipped in there. We lost our dominance a little bit. West Brom have definitely had the better of it the last 15. But still, we're leading. It was a lovely goal from Oscar Schwartau in the number 10. McLean playing him in. Well, he didn't play him in. Made a little 3-yard pass into him. And Schwartau turned out into space, unleashed a shot from 20 yards. Bottom right-hand corner. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Thank you very much. Oscar Schwartau in the 10. I like what I'm seeing as West Brom come forwards and strike one from distance on the hit the post. We have got to be careful here. That was nearly 1-1. It should be 1-1. Oh, I think if that had gone in, Norwich would have been complaining for a foul. Oh my God, Kenny McLean has slid in this pitch. Oh, it's gone out for a throw in a minute added on. Wow, that was close. That was really close. Let's see if there's a replay. It was middle of the park. smashed the post. Kovacevic was stood standing. Oh, that's an inch away from being 1-1. They've missed a header. They've hit the post. We've got to switch on here. We were good for the first 20 minutes, but we've lost control. We need to get into that dressing room and unleash a Philippe Clement halftime team talk, I think. I think I agree with I think it'll be interesting to see what he does at halftime. I think I'd be changing Springer, and I think I'd be getting Jurisic on, or if he's fit, Papa Amadou Diallo. I think I would get Springer off. He's been pretty ineffective. Who else would I'd probably keep Ali Ahmed on. There we go, half-time. Look, we're winning. We're winning. That's the main thing. West Brom 0, Norwich City 1. It was a brilliant bit of quality from Oscar Schwarzer. Ultimately, that's been the difference so far. West Brom have probably, actually, when we boil it down, had the better chances in that half. They had a free header. They've hit the post. Kovacevic has been called out of his goal a couple of times and has been quick off his line. We've got to be sharper in that second half. Otherwise, we're not going to come out with all 3 points tonight. But the key thing is, an Oscar Schwarzer 16-minute goal means that we are on top in this one. West Brom 0, Norwich City 1. We are into half-time. Let me know your thoughts on that half. It was, for the first 20 minutes, really solid. We deserved the goal. Then it left our control a little bit. I am getting worried about that pitch. It is absolutely chucking it down at the Hawthorns and has been for the last hour. So go outside and do whatever the opposite of a rain dance is. I don't know what it might be, but do that. Let's stop the rain in the Midlands. They've had enough. McCarmer has been weak. We need him to hold him up in these conditions. I think it's interesting with McCarmer, and I hear Connor Southwell, whose opinion I respect more than most, and he keeps saying that, you know, when it was like, does Sargent start? Does McCarmer start? Who's in the 9? He was like, he still thinks that Sargent is the better number 9, and like it's hard to kind of disagree with that, but there are certainly parts of Jovan's game that need to improve. Key things to remember here: he's 21 years old. He was a cameo player in League One last season. He's now first choice number 9 in the Championship. There will be parts of his game that need to be improved. I agree. On nights like tonight, when you're, backs against the wall on occasions, it's chucking it down with rain, you're having to battle hard. When the ball is released into you, just hold it up. Back to goal, force the defender. We know he's good at that. We've seen it. That goal away at Preston, his strength becomes completely unplayable. So hold them off, find an option, get your other teammates into play, and then go from there. So yeah, parts of his game I'm sure will need to be improved and will be improved. Over 650 of you watching on YouTube. I think we've got 700 odd on Twitter and a good few on Facebook as well. Welcome along. If this is your first time, welcome to the TNC Watch Along. It's West Brom 0, Norwich City 1. It's me, Jack Reeve, talking to you, the lovely people of TNC, about this game. Championship, important game for Norwich City, coming off the back of a good result against Wrexham on Saturday. Saturday, Tuesday, January, over the festive period, important. And on the whole, I think Norwich have navigated it pretty well. Certainly away from home. It's still that home form that is really giving us grief at the moment. Other than that win against QPR and Southampton, not been much to smile about at Carrow Road. Obviously, that Walsall game, but that was in the Cup. That was good fun. So we shall see. There are 4 games of the next 5 coming up at Carrow Road in a few weeks' time. So good opportunity to wrong some rights. Right some wrongs, I should say. Not wrong some rights. We definitely don't want to do that. Sam says, good goal. Yeah, it was a fantastic goal. Oscar Schwarzer on the swivel. Rifled, going away from the goalkeeper. Unsavable. And those little individual bits of quality, I don't think we've seen enough of from anyone this season. Maybe McCarmer on instance, but like the ability in a 50-50 game where there's not much to split it. Again, I hark back to that Watford game and the Stoke game. Nothing in the game whatsoever. And just a bit of quality from Watford and a bit of quality from Stoke ultimately decided it. This feels like a similar game. Not a huge amount in between the sides. I think that was a very even first half. You see it on the possession, actually. West Brom probably edging it in terms of shots and and corners, etc. And they've hit the post. They've had a pretty much a free header over the bar. So they've had their chances, but ultimately Norwich are winning this game because of Oscar Schwartau's quality, and I think that's a really important part that's been overlooked so far this season. Pepping says, "I think we've turned the corner. Would be great to be more consistent at home." I think I think head coaches, I think players will always be more weighted in terms of opinion on their. Watching that Schwartau goal back, it was an absolute beauty. Absolute beauty from Oscar Schwartau. Love that lad. Hard worker, professional, intelligent, 19 years old. I've given Ben Napper a hell of a lot of stick this season, but he's a really shrewd signing. I'd add Pell Matson into that list. I'd add Jovan McCarmer into that list. It's amazing what a good head coach can do with some players. Pell Matson was nowhere to be seen. Ryan McConville was nowhere to be seen. Oscar Schwartau was in and out. McCarmer was a bit part player. Springett was non-existent. Clement's come in and revolutionised the development of these players. And suddenly you're looking at this team and going, okay, who's the, Napper has sold Science and Sarah and Ida and Rowe. None of those were his players, right? They were Weber players, or I guess in a Johnny Rowe instance, like predating Weber. So it was like, okay, so you've sold other people's players for good money, but who's yours going to be? Not that I want to talk about selling players, but it's probably now McCarmer, Matson, Schwartau. They're the players that may well demand big fees in the coming years. And particularly with McCarmer, I think it comes into sharp focus. You need to get that lad on a new contract, because we signed him as a bit of a wild card from Lincoln. I can't imagine he's on much money. Well, relatively, he'll be on, compared to you and I, he'll be on fantastic money. But in this Norwich City team, I can't imagine he's one of the top earners. So you need to get him locked down, because there's going to be interest for him in the summer, regardless of whether he doesn't score another goal or whether he scores another 15 this season. There'll be interest. So he's an important one to get sorted. Chronic maths debate. You've done me. You've done me. Chronic maths debater. Need to get Diallo or Jurisic on second half. I agree, and I disagree with the username. I don't know what the fitness is like. I'd love to see Diallo on tonight. I'd love to see Diallo. I'd also love to see more of Ali Ahmed. Like, let's see a full 90 from him if he's got it in the tank. We shall see. Very scrappy first half, says DZMFC. I don't think the pitch is helping. Take a look at the other scores. Charlton losing helps us. Oxford drawing 0-0. Sheffield Wednesday drawing 0-0. Yeah. So what games are tomorrow then? Portsmouth must be playing tomorrow, are they? I think, I was listening to Not the Top 20 the other day, and they were saying, and I think Ali and George both agreed, they were going Oxford, Sheffield Wednesday, Portsmouth to go down. And I think I'd probably agree. I think Oxford, for me, Sheffield Wednesday are definitely gone, right? They're definitely gone. Depending on there being no other points deductions to no other teams, I think Oxford are down. I think they're the worst side I've seen this season by quite a long way. And then, I think it might be Charlton. I don't know about, I kind of fancy Pompey to like get enough points, just grind it out. And actually, I look at their team, I quite like it. There's some good players in there. Their lineup for the game against Sheffield Wednesday, they've got Colby Bishop up front. I think he's a competent player. Connor Chaplin. They've got that Adrian, is it Sedjicic? I think he scored against us, didn't he? Andre Dazelle. Like, there's some players in there. I thought Charlton Oxford definitely the worst team I've seen this season. So I'm going to go Oxford, Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton, I think. I think that would be my bottom 3. I've got a funny feeling about Pompey. That's why I've been really nervous, because it's been us and everyone's been discussing Portsmouth. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's something about them that I think kind of gets them out of the situation they're in. Anyway, who cares about them? If Norwich City win enough games, we'll be absolutely fine. And thankfully, we are winning this one by 1-0. We've had more possession, just a one shot on target. Did end in a goal with Oscar Schwartau. It'll be interesting to see if Philippe Clement makes any changes at half-time. He's not been afraid to make those changes. We've seen Mate Jurisic and Tony Springett and Ali Ahmed dancing and in and out of proceedings over the last few games after the 45-minute mark. I guess that's been a fitness-related issue. I suspect we may well see changes this evening. That was a scrappy end to that first half. For me, Diallo comes on, and I think that's probably the only one I go for at this stage. I think Diallo on for Springett. I think that would be the way I would play things. And then maybe Jurisic for Ali Ahmed later on and switch Diallo to the left and Mate Jurisic to the right-hand side. It does make me wonder, do we need another winger? Because am I completely confident with Mate Jurisic and Tony Springett as your 2 championship backup wingers? I don't know. It leaves me wanting a little bit more. And by the looks of things, with the ambition to go out and sign another striker, which is clear is happening with the links with Casper from Bodo Glimt, they're not going to be afraid to spend some money. And the key point that I will keep on harping back to, when Norwich City sold Marcelino Nunes in the summer to arch rivals Ipswich Town, we were told directly to soften the blow. Every single penny of that money will be reinvested in January. So you've got, 10 million quid at least to spend in January. You're being linked with a £7 million move with this Danish lad from Bodo Glimt. We've spent £1.5 million on Ali Ahmed. Let's see a couple more now. Central midfield and a wing are the key for me. Number 10, I wouldn't be as fussed about missing out on. I think Schwartau and Wright are decent. Maybe a little bit more quality there wouldn't go amiss. And actually, the other one that hasn't been talked about, but it does concern me a little bit, left back. Ben Crescene, I still don't think is fit for a full 90. Mahovo's out for a few months. And Jeffrey Schlupp was a weird signing, and we've seen 3-4 games from him, which has been a real shame. I've just had a lovely message through from Jeremy Buxton, our dear friends at Eves Hill, who's had some really good news today regarding his beloved family. So, Jeremy, if you're watching, an Eves Hill farm, I'm absolutely delighted for you all. So, good stuff, Jeremy. I hope you're well. Couple of substitutions by the looks of it being made for West Brom, is there? Or have I made that up? We shall see in a moment. As always, I don't watch with any commentary on the game. So if there isn't any news that I'm missing, please do feel free to let me know in the comments, because I'm always monitoring those. Let me try and grab my laptop charger as well, actually, because I'm running low on battery. That's a lovely angle of my shoulder. There we go. Oh, no, I don't think there's any substitutions West Brom side. I think they're warming up. Weather watch, still raining at the Hawthorns. When will it ever stop raining at the Hawthorns? Here's another bit. Oh, my screen's just gone off. I knew it would do that. Let me go back on. Another bit of pub trivia. West Brom, the Hawthorns, the highest ground in England. Highest ground above sea level in England. Who would have thought it, huh? Who would have thunked it? Some people whispering a little double substitution. ABS and Cordoba. Yeah? Schwarzer did take a knock in that first half. Schlamani in the 10 and Cordoba on for what? Darling? Let me know what's going on, people. Let me know what's going on. Any substitutions? Anis Ben Slimane. Again, Anis Ben Slimane, I mean, he is the absolute prime example of players developing under Philippe Clement. Again, they wanted him gone in the summer. I think there was probably chatter around trying to find him a club in January. And now, scoring against Wrexham, 2 assists against Walsall. I'd completely forgotten about him in terms of a name for the number 10. Anis Ben Slimane very much in the mix as well. The substitution, Anis Ben Slimane is coming on. He's in that pretty pink kit. So, oh no, hang on a minute. Slimane is going back on the bench. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, no, this is the other thing I've just seen. Anis Ben Slimane is 24. Again, before a couple of weeks ago, if you'd have asked me in a pub quiz, how old is Anis Ben Slimane, I would have probably joke arounded nearly 30. I would have gone 29 for Anis Ben Slimane. He's 24. You could still regard him as a young up-and-coming whippersnapper. Again, another option in the 10. Who would have thought under Liam Manning, but Clement has revolutionised it. Okay, so we've got 2 substitutions, Anis Ben Slimane and Jose Cordoba coming on. So now I just need to figure out who they're coming on for. So Slimane's on for 42. Is that Springett? That's Tony Springett, isn't it? 42. Oh, I'm confused. It doesn't take a lot to confuse me. Slimane, so Springett's coming off, and then number 6, so Cordoba on for Darling. That's an interesting one. Centre back change. I can only assume that's tactical because Darling didn't look like he'd picked up a knock or anything. So Cordoba and McConville, the centre back pairing, which is what I would have gone for from the start, and Anis Ben Slimane, I can only assume is going in the 10, and also Schwartau will go out on the right, or Ahmed out on the right, Schwartau on the left. I can't imagine Slimane is going on the wing, although he played on the wing for Sheffield United, didn't he? I feel like I've watched him on the wing for Sheffield United at Carrow Road. I was in Canary Call that day. Anyway, Slimane and Cordoba on the pitch. We know where Cordoba's playing. Maybe Slimane is just taking up the vibes-based role. Pitch update. Bit worried. It's looking a bit boggy, and it would do because it's absolutely chucking now and has been for over an hour. Oscar Schwartau on the right-hand side, says my correspondent, Jazz Tats. Schwartau on the right, ABS, who's just gone through a full service and MOT in the middle. And that man, Ali Ahmed, on the left-hand side. That's an interesting one. Big corner. I think we all wanted Tony Springett to come off, but you've got Mate Jurisic, you've got Paparadou Diallo. Diallo, you're gonna be putting down to fitness. Again, with Mate Jurisic, like you're playing a player out of position over Mate Jurisic. Again, damning. I know that people keep talking up Mate Jurisic, but I'm just still struggling to have it a little bit. That was a good example there of Makama maybe should be doing better, is just hold the ball up. Well done, Kellen Fisher. He's been excellent under Clement as well, hasn't he? Lovely little ball into Oscar Schwartau. Can he come out with the ball? No, he can't. We've just got to be a bit careful here, Norwich. I've just got to be a little bit careful. That game got away from us ever so slightly. End of that first half. Just got to keep our standards high, play like we did for the first 20 minutes of that first half, and we'll be absolutely fine. Just get that balance and that structure back. Good play from Oscar Schwartau to win it back. Tell you what, you can't fault Ali Ahmed for his work rate. He is really busting a gut. Does sometimes look like a slight sort of headless chicken, but I'm sure that will work on with Senor Clement. Good challenge, Ben Crescene. Well done, Jose Cordoba. Go on, Job. Win it. Go on, Ahmed. Oh. West Brom 0, Norwich City 1, 47 and 48 minutes on the clock. Basically, it's been an interesting game so far. These are the types of games, those scrappy Tuesday night games where important to go on and try and find victory. When a little bit of quality will ultimately be the difference. And Anis Ben Slimani's in here. Can he find a cross? He can. And Ali Ahmed. Oh, what a goal! 2-0. Ali Ahmed on his second appearance. Anis Ben Slimani to Ali Ahmed. It's the opposite of the goal we saw against Wrexham. And that is an absolutely stunning finish from the Canadian international. Anis Ben Slimani does brilliantly. Rory McConville's given it big to the away end. We have just seen a new man burst onto the scene, and he goes by the name of Ali Ahmed. Anis Ben Slimani, he's just come on the pitch. He does so well, pins it back to Ahmed, right boot, going away from him. Top corner. It's West Bromwich Albion 0, Norwich City 2. Anis Ben Slimani, Ali Ahmed. That is the new deadly Norwich City duo. That was absolutely lovely. And that really does put Norwich City into a nice position. Really well-worked goal. Fantastic work from Anis Ben Slimani. Talk about the service in the MOT that the ABS has just gone through. And my goodness me, maybe we have a player on our hands with Ali Ahmed. And he gave us the celebration that we wanted to see, the never-ending knee slide into the corner while giving it big uns to the Norwich City away end, in which he's just scored in front of. The travelling fans will have a lot to cheer about tonight. That was a brilliant goal. West Brom 0, Norwich City 2. Ali Ahmed on the score sheet gets more than 45 minutes this week. He marked his debut with an assist. He rattled the crossbar against Wrexham, and up we pop with a goal on his second appearance. And here is Anis Ben Slimani again. Oh my goodness, twinkle toes from Anis Ben Slimani. Can he work a shot? And it will go to Kellen Fisher. Fisher, oh, it should be 3. Fisher again. Oh, I tell you what, Anis Ben Slimani is working wonders in the number 10 for Norwich City. He set up Ali Ahmed, and Kellen Fisher should score. He's already got the assist, and he nearly got the second. Kellen Fisher bombing forwards. It was wonderful work from Slimani. Nearly goes 3-0. Plays it into Fisher. Should probably score. Good save from the goalkeeper. Still, West Brom 0, Norwich City 2. A frightening start from Norwich City in this second half. 50 minutes on the clock. 2-0 up. Schwartau and Ahmed, the scorers. Back post delivery. Ahmed will get there. He's kept it in. He's done brilliantly. Ali Ahmed. Oh, can he work across? No, he can't. It's me, James E. I'll leave that on screen. Watch it. Take it in. Slamanio. Oh. Blackburn losing 2-1. This has been a good 5 minutes for Norwich City. Slemessy, says Ono4730. Oh my God, here he comes again. Anis Ben Slimani working. Oh my God, he's good. He's in. Oh, what has Clement done to this man? Anis Ben Slimani has turned into prime Ronaldinho. I mean, his feet are moving in ways I've never seen feet move. Got the assist, probably should have a second assist, and just dancing through defenders. I mean, this is absolutely stupendous stuff. West Brom's starting to get frustrated here. Let's get a third. Go on, boys. Let's get a third. Oh, be careful. Chrissy Dayton, ABS Player of the Season, back on. To be fair, I gave it a shout last season. Maybe I'm just a visionary. I was just early with my shout. I'm a maverick. I went early with my ABS Player of the Season outside chance last year. It didn't quite work out, but maybe a little late burst from Slimani this year will get him in the Barry Butler runnings. Still out of the relegation zone, says Ezek. Yes, we are. New signings this window. Ahmed, ABS, Cordoba, and Diallo. I mean, look, we've basically got 11 new signings, the way that Philippe Clement has revolutionised this team. Let's not get too carried away as West Brom get forward here. We're still going to be switched on in the defensive line. 2-goal is a dangerous scoreline. Jovan. Not Jovan's best game so far, but we know with Jovan Makama, give him a chance and he'll score. Feed the Jov and he will score. Has anyone ordered a Big Mac this evening? Oh, Rari. This has been fun, hasn't it, this evening? With my chamomile tea and Anis Ben Slimane. Watch it. Take it in. See a few of you saying a playoff push. I wouldn't put you off it. I wouldn't put you off it. We do need to get rid of this West Brom corner, though. Slimane. Of course it was Slimane. I mean, who else? Top 6. Slimane, player of the season. Yeah, this is a key one from Colobri. Oh, no. Corners. West Brom look dangerous from corners. Another chance there. A decent bench has made a lot of difference. Completely agree. You know, Ahmed off the bench, Slimane off the bench, combining for that second goal. I think it makes the world of difference. I think it takes you from a team in and around the bottom 3 to a team that, you know, are looking much higher than that. I think we were in games until, you know, 75, 80 minutes, and the amount of late goals we've conceded this season, I think a lot of it is down to the lack of quality off the bench. We're 3-on-3 here with Oscar Schwartau. He'll go out wide to Kellen Fisher. He'll whip one in. All the thought Geoff McCann was going to get there. Didn't quite. Good defending from West Brom. This has been a frantic start to this second half. And it's Crescene into the box, and that will be cleared. Again, another chance for Norwich City. Kellen Fisher this time pushing forwards. Crescene high, Fisher high up the pitch. You put that in with the Ahmed, Schwartau, Slimane concoction, and good things happen. And good things are happening this evening. West Bromwich Albion 0, Norwich City 2, Tuesday, the 20th of January. George says, out of the relegation zone right now. We are indeed. Bonnet says, need Pompey to lose tomorrow. Yeah, who are Pompey playing tomorrow? Pompey are playing Watford away. That's a toughie. That's a tough game. Sheffield United away at Southampton, Stoke, Borough. We could do with a Southampton and Watford win. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be very nice. 2 really, really nice goals from Norwich this evening. Fantastic strike from Oscar Schwartau. And look, here on Talk Norwich City, we like to get carried away. I think you're allowed to get carried away about Ali Ahmed. Got the assist against Wrexham for Anis Ben Slimane. And the finish tonight, I mean, Slimane's done excellent. Brilliant work to get the ball to him. But he's got a lot to do. The ball's going away from him, and he just rifles it top corner. And here he is again, Ali Ahmed. He'll pick his head up and find Pell Matson. Of course he does, because Pell Matson's everywhere on the pitch. Just keep pressing, Norwich. Keep pressing. That was what impressed me. I know it was League 2 opposition, but that's what impressed me so much against Walsall. They did not take their foot off the gas at any point. They just kept going. The rain is still falling. Pell Matson is still making tackles, and Ali Ahmed is still making me smile. It's the TNC watch along. It's West Brom 0, Norwich City 2. This second half has started much like the first half started in It's All Norwich. And we know that that can swing, and that pendulum is continuing to swing in these championship games. But it's key that you make these moments count. And we haven't seen that enough from us this season. We haven't seen it enough. In games where we've been on top and we've had chances, we've not taken them. Key one for that for me this season was Derby away. We should have been about 14-0 up in that first half. We weren't, and we lost the game. Tonight, we've had 3 shots on target, I want to say, and scored twice. Top corner from Ali Ahmed, bottom corner from Oscar Schwartau, clinical edge. And that's what happens when you've got quality and structure. And Norwich City under Philippe Clement have exactly that. This has been, with Wrexham and with this evening, a really competent performance as West Brom come forwards. And that's excellent work from Jose Cordova. The first Well, the half-time substitute. Cordoba comes on, has made an impression so far. And I tell you what, Anis Ben Slimane turning into the hottest property in the Championship off the bench. There's Ali Ahmed's inexperience coming through as he missed times across. But it's okay because Ben Crescene can cover. Archie, who needs Nunez when you've got Anis Ben Slimane? I tell you what, I mean, you look back to... Here we go. Let's get carried away. What I mean is when you look back to successful campaigns that Norwich have had in the past, so let's take promotion seasons as an example where you've gone, that was a successful campaign. There's always players that don't start. Oh, 1 second. West Brom, good block from Kellen Fisher and a massive fist pump there from Kellen Fisher as well. That's another key thing. Players are going above and beyond for Philippe Clement. Kellen Fisher, 58 minutes in, he's made a pretty routine sliding tackle and he's getting up and fist pumping it. More of that. Expected passion off the charts tonight. Great stuff. Going back to my point, in successful seasons, yes, your starting 11 needs to be solid and consistent and, oozing quality, but you need the Danny Pacheco's, the Henry Lansbury's, the Jordan Rhodes of the world, right? The Jordan Hugels of the world, who can come off the bench and make a real impact on a regular basis. Who knows? Anis Ben Slimane might be that man. Again, it's a sentence I never thought I'd be saying. Much like I didn't think I'd be saying Tony Springett is a viable option in 2026. But here we are, and let's embrace it as Kenny McLean makes a never-ending slide challenge. This pitch is, thank God it's not Ewood Park, because I think this would be abandoned at this stage. West Brom applying some pressure in the last few minutes. They've had about 14 corners in the last 5 minutes. As I've been discussing Henry Lansbury. What a player Henry Lansbury was, by the way. And Danny Pacheco, for that matter. Papa coming on soon, says Ivan Smith. Is he? So I assume he'll come on for Schwartau. Get it out. Cordoba. Excellent header. Or maybe he'll come on for Ali Ahmed. That makes more sense. Norwich winning this scrap fest so far, and that's what it has been over the last 5 minutes. I really like Jose Cordoba. I think he's a proper player. And I'll throw it out there again. I think he's got elements of Virgil van Dijk about him. I think the way he moves, I think the way he commands his space, everything looks in second gear, but he's always first to everything. I'll throw the comparison out there. Virgil van Dijk was 25 years old when he got his first big move. Cordoba's 24. I'll say it so you don't have to. I promise I haven't got any whiskey in my chamomile tea. What's been my worst season as a Norwich supporter? God, where do you start with that? I think it had... Well, I mean, I was kind of lucky whereby, my first game... Oh, West Brom counter-attack here. Just... good save, Vladimir Kovacevic. My first game was 2004-2005 under Nigel Worthington in the Premier League against Liverpool. I think Ryan Jarvis scored. John Arne Rees and Louis Garcia scored for Liverpool. We lost 2-1. That was my first game. My first season as a season ticket holder was 2010. So promotion from the Championship. So I kind of missed. I wasn't going to games during that era where Norwich were like, well, first of all, in League One. Diallo's coming on. Let me just interrupt my incredibly... Yeah, so, okay, Ali Ahmed's coming off for Papa Amadou Diallo. What a fantastic night again for Ali Ahmed. And he's quickly becoming a key component in this Philippe Clement side. And on comes Papa Amadou Diallo. Let's see what he's got to offer. He looks stupendous in that pink kit, I must say. So my worst season, I think it has to be some of those Premier League campaigns where we've just never been at it. They're really, really gloomy. Maybe would it have been 2019, 2020 when we had a little bit of Premier League action and then COVID happened. And I just remember I vividly remember, I think we played Arsenal midweek and the country was kind of in and out of lockdown, and we got battered, and we were never anywhere near the races, and it was just a feeling of kind of hopelessness. I think they're the seasons that I find really, really tough, is when there's no kind of light at the end of the tunnel. There always is. There always is in football, but those Premier League campaigns when we've just not, we've not been at it at all. We've not had the squad. You attract certain players that clearly don't want to be here because it's an easy money or topping up their pension or what have you. So I'd probably say one of those Premier League campaigns, 2019-20 was pretty brutal. I mean, in terms of genuine, just complete and utter bleakness, if the start of this season, I don't think I've ever been as down as a Norwich fan. I found it really tough, really tough. It was horrible. The atmosphere was toxic. Manning was completely gone. It was horrible. So I know it's not a whole season, but the first 3-4 months or however long it was of this season, I thought I think that's the worst football I've seen us play. I really do. Even worse than the Championship relegation of, what was that, 2007? Worse than that. Charlton losing 2-0. Sorry, 2021, 2022. Of course it was. Yeah, that was the Premier League one. Here we go then. 65 minutes on the clock. Papamadou Diallo. Oof, unlucky. Here we go. Let's get a third. I'd love a third. How many times have we scored 3 goals in the league this season? It's just that QPR game, isn't it? I feel like it's just that QPR game. And, we've Makama, Diallo, Slimane, Schwartau. There's some quality in there tonight. Makama's barely had a kick. Makama has barely had a kick. He's would like to see a little bit more hold-up play from him. And I think he will grow into that over the coming, 10, 15 minutes. But this is the period in the game where we really need Makama to step up. It's tough. He's young. It's his first season in the Championship. As I said earlier, he was a bit part player for League One Lincoln last season. He was a wild card signing for Norwich, and he's now our main man and has scored 10 goals in the Championship. It's a remarkable rise for Jovan Makar, and I'm so grateful that we get to see it. Norwich up to 20th then with 30 points. Blackburn on 28. Portsmouth on 28, Oxford on 24. Charlton also losing. They're losing 2-0, which means that we go... I can't believe that lad scored twice with Bodo Glimt earlier, by the way. That means that we go 2 points behind Charlton with a win here, and their results staying the same. And actually, I think where the picture gets really interesting is looking a little bit further up. Lots of if, buts, and maybes here, but let's say we win this and the results above us stay our way. We go a point behind West Brom. We go 2 points behind Charlton and Sheffield United, 3 points behind Southampton, 6 points behind Swansea. You're then up to 15th. You're suddenly looking at mid-table. And granted, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, Jack, would you take a 15th place finish this season? I would have gone absolutely not. But I'd absolutely take 15th place now. But well, fuck it, we'll dare to dream. Why not? Dare to dream. We've been so we've been so down and out for so much of this season. Allow yourself to enjoy it, get a little bit excited. Why not? 13 points off the top 6. Yeah. Let's get carried away. Yo, Jack Dog, I love you, not on the Lakens, but please narrate the game more for us. You're our avenue to follow this live. Sorry. I would suggest if you're looking for a competent narration of the game, I would point you in the direction of Chris Gorham, not Matthias Quisgorm, but Chris Gorham, BBC Radio Norfolk. Or yeah, I guess if you can't listen to him, then maybe I am your only option. Bleak times for Norwich fans. God, I'm not commentating this game. I'm having far more fun talking about potato waffles in toasters and air fryers and lemon curd, etc. What I can tell you is, much like the first half, Norwich bossed the first 20 minutes of the second half, and now West Brom have got more of the ball. It's West Brom 0, it's Norwich City 2. Fantastic goal from Oscar Schwartau and Ali Ahmed. We've made another substitution. Here comes Chris Gorham, not Chris Gorham, but Matthias Chris Gorham. So he will come on for, let's assume, Oscar Schwartau. I like to see, I like that. I like that substitution. I don't think we've seen enough from Matthias Chris Gorham this season. And I know, he had the injury. He was really starting to find form against Coventry. Then he picked up that knee injury. Then he was out for 5-6 weeks. And then for the last month, I've been confused as to what his actual status is. Is he injured? Is he just not fancied? Is he not up to standard? And then I watched him against Walsall run the number 9. I was like, well, he's definitely fit. So now it must just be a selection thing. That's good from Makama. That's really good from Makama. Now find the pass. There's Diallo. That was fantastic from Jovan Makama. Diallo. Oh, it's hit the post. Yeah, there we go. 3-0. 3-0 Norwich City. And that is all we deserved. And I tell you what, take your glasses off, give your local car garage a ring, and say, whatever MOT and full service you gave on the ABS, can I have some? Anis Ben Slimane has turned into a Brazilian superstar. And I know he's from Tunisia, but this is a man playing football similar to Brazil in the 70s, to Spain in the 2010s, to football under Daniel Farker. Anis Ben Slimane gets the third of the night, and that could be all she wrote. Can you hear the fat lady singing just yet? I don't know, but that all came, and I fucking said it. Jovan Makama, hold up play, back to goal, brings people in. There's your out-and-out left winger and Papa Amadou Diallo. He drives into the box. He gives it to Anis Ben Slimane, finds the finish. Fucking brilliant. Get in there, boys. 3-0. 3-0. Anis Ben Slimane becoming Norwich City star man is a sentence. Actually, no, I did say it last season because I thought he was going to get player of the season. West Brom 0, Norwich City 3. Tuesday night, under the lights, against a side who was under new management. Where's your new manager bounce? You're not Philippe Clement, are you, Mr. Ramsey? And I tell you what, with Matthias Chris Gorham coming on the pitch as well, you'd fancy us to get a few more. This is fantastic from Norwich City. If BetRight haven't taken some bets for Norwich City to finish top 6 tonight, then you punters are wrong, because you should be getting on it. I'll tell you what, he deserves that goal, Anis Ben Slimane, and that was a lovely move. And, that was 3 players doing their jobs to perfection. Jovan Makama getting an absolute nothing ball, bring it into his chest, bring in Papa Amadou Diallo into play. Great run from Diallo, drives at his defender. That's exactly what I want to see from a winger. Finds the pass to Slimane. Yes, he gets a bit of luck for it to fall back to him, but he delivers, and it's 3-0. And actually, I wouldn't bet against Norwich scoring more here. I wish it wasn't dry January, because, so many of you are saying get on the Lakens. I've got a full, fresh case of Encore out there, and I'm not cracking into it. Instead, I'm on the chamomile tea, but who cares? No Papa, no party. Links to that on the TNT merch website. Very happy for all the Canaries that made that trip. Yeah, me too. It's pissing it down with rain. Loads of mates there tonight. Tuesday night, you probably had to take a few hours off work. You're probably dropping 100 quid on travel and tickets and food and beer. Loads and loads of hardship following Norwich City over the years. But these are the nights for the Norwich City fans that will make it all worth it. Night out in Birmingham afterwards, get in and amongst it, happy days. Anis Ben Slimane will be sending these punters home very happy. Kenny McLean, whipped in ball. Can anyone get there? Yes, they can. It's Ben Crescene. It's 4-0. It's 4-0. Oh, Ben Crescene has just rifled one top corner. What is going on? What is going on? It's a ball floated into the box. It's dropped to Ben Crescene on the weaker foot, and he's just gone, have some of that. And it's flown top corner. Norwich City started this evening in the relegation zone. We have gone to the Hawthorns, new manager, expecting a new manager bounce. And after 73 minutes, we find ourselves 4-0 up. It is an absolutely glorious finish from Crescene. The goals tonight have been incredible. Schwartau, Ahmed, Slimane, and now Ben Crescene from left back. It's an unbelievable finish. It is an absolutely unbelievable finish. Anis Ben Slimane, Ben Crescene, Oscar Schwartau. I'm lost for words. I'm absolutely lost for words. I guess this is what happens when I do watch longs on my own rather than having Chris. You know, we start to perform, all right? Unbelievable. Absolutely. Well, we couldn't, could we? We couldn't, could we? You know what I'm getting to here? We couldn't, could we? Philippe Clement, pink kits, Ali Ahmed. It's all starting to make sense now. Open up your phones, people. No, go and do it. Put me on the iPad or the laptop or the telly or, you know, your auntie's iPhone or whatever. Go to your phone and open up the league table. All right, and let's do this together. I'll give you a few seconds. Go to a phone or a laptop, whatever, and open up the league table. Let's do this together. I think this is an important activity, and I would be really disappointed if you don't do this with me. Get the league table up. All right. We'll go from bottom to top. We'll go from the bottom. And you look at the league table and you go, oh, that's interesting. Norwich City no longer in the bottom three. That's okay. We're in 20th. That's not great, is it? 30 points. 30 points. That's the key thing to look at here. 30 points. I hope you're all following along. 30 points. Now, part 2 of the exercise is go to 6th place. 6th place is Preston North End on 43. 43 points. Now, part 3 of this exercise, and this is good for the kids at home. You know, your parents have let you stay up late to watch Philippe Clement. Fantastic. Let's incorporate a little bit of maths homework. What's 43 take 30? The answer, because I did pass my GCSE maths, is 13. Norwich City are 13 points off the top 6. That's all I'm saying. I'm just laying out the facts, and you can do with that as you wish. But all I'm saying is, we couldn't, could we? Because when I'm seeing Ben Crescene firing ones in top corner, and I'm seeing the ABS start to function with the new oil and the new calipers, and take it into the garage, chief mechanic Philippe Clement, and I'm starting to see Canada's superstar and Ali Ahmed run down the wing. I'm looking at this team and going, hang on a minute, something doesn't make sense here. Why are we 20th? We could be 6th. And actually, maybe this whole situation was some sort of sick joke from the Atanasios to reel us in. And actually, the whole point of it was to make the second half of the season exciting. And go, I'm going to make you sense the fear of relegation for when we get into the playoffs, you really appreciate it this time. Because maybe we didn't so much under David Wagner. Are you getting my drift here? Are you understanding where I'm coming from? We'll come back to that homework shortly. But for the meantime, Norwich haven't scored in 5 minutes. I mean, this is fucking shambolic. Clement, what are you doing? Here we go. Talk that up. Matthias Kvistgaarden. He's got 4 players to beat, but I back him to do so. Kvistgaarden is fouled. Of course he's fouled. He's too good for you. He's too good for you. Very good comment. Are you watching Mr. Changing Me Won't Change Anything, Manning? Remember that? Probably one of the darkest days of my Norwich City supporting career when I opened up Twitter and I saw the press conference from Liam Manning, behaviours, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you sacking me won't do anything. And at that point, I questioned everything in life. Was I going crazy? Were we going crazy? Am I seeing something different going on here? Is the whole club just fucked from top to bottom? And actually, no, it was just Manning was doing his weird behaviours, right? I think Kenny McLean's going to have a shot. No, ABS whipped in. Oh, good ball. It's going to fall to Paparamadou Diallo. Then that goes just over the bar. I tell you what, I fancy 5 or 6 here. Why not? Let's get fully stuck into the baggies. Let's get fully stuck into them. Oscar Schwartau, Ali Ahmed, Ben Slimane, Jack Stacey's coming on now. And you know what? I wouldn't back it against him scoring tonight either. Ben Crescente's going off. You know, he took my we need a left back comment at halftime very personally as he rifled one into the top corner. This has been great fun. This has been great fun, hasn't it? Ben Crescente. Embrace that hug with Philippe Clement. Enjoy it. Enjoy the warmth that you'll be feeling around Philippe Clement's broad shoulders. Take it in. I tell you what, we are closing in on territory of Norwich scoring more goals than West Brom fans still in attendance at the Hawthorns right now. I reckon I could count on one hand, and let's not have the 6 fingers comment. I reckon I could count on one hand how many fans there are in this ground right now. I'm talking home fans, and I'm talking Paparamadou Diallo using his magical skills down that left-hand side as he retains possession and goes inside. This has been a clinical, ruthless performance from Norwich City. This has been, for the first 20 minutes that first half, really good. I thought we were cagey for that second half of the first half, but we found a way. And now we've just absolutely unleashed into prime Barcelona. You know, Pep ball. Pep Guardiola, I think, is out of fashion nowadays. It's Philippe Clement, isn't it? Big thanks. Well, no Big Mac yet, but 20 anyway to Big C. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I mean, 4 goals. I think there was chatter earlier about what would Norwich have to do in order for me to buy an air fryer. I'm not buying an air fryer, but score 4 goals would probably very unlikely. We've had 6 shots on target. We've scored 4 of them. Ruthless from Norwich City this evening. Canary Wonderboy says, here for the watch along vibes. Aren't we all, Wonderboy? So good to have you in the chat this evening, my friend. I hope we are all very well. I can only assume we all are. I can only assume we all are based on what we're witnessing at the Hawthorns this evening. Matt Gregory, 11 goals scored since Josh Sargent sent that Friday night text to Big Phil. There may have been some people thinking that could, one of the big leaders in that dressing room sacking it in change the mindset of some of these players. Well, I think it has changed the mindset, but only in a positive way. Norwich City, since Josh Sargent sent that infamous text to Philippe Clement on that Saturday evening ahead of Walsall in the Cup, have gone from absolute strength to strength as Rory McConville strides forward. This is a team now oozing confidence. In a mindset of anything is possible. Go away to Wrexham, confidence building. I was saying this evening, let's just find a point. Let's get out of the Hawthorns with a point. 4 goals later, I'm wondering why I was so pessimistic. January business, thing of a past now. You're looking at it and going, well, Ali Ahmed's come on and scored. Maybe if we can find the striker, and Bodo Glimt, he scored twice in the Champions League tonight. He's going to come in and be our 3rd choice striker. Things are looking up. And as we always say, wins and results solve a lot. They buy you time. They buy you good esteem, right, in the fan base. And the key thing here is it's a mindset shift. You're looking up rather than down. I'm suddenly looking at 10th place rather than Portsmouth in 21st, which is really nice to be able to say. This has been good from Norwich tonight. This second half has been seriously good. Seriously good. It was a good opening 15 minutes, and then we just turned into ruthless Norwich City. And you got the sense that one of these performances was coming, particularly when you had the quality starting to come back. And Clement said that he thought that Papa Amadou Diallo was pretty much a new signing. He's got his own player in Ali Ahmed, and you can probably add a few more to that list over the coming weeks. The thought of a fully functioning Philippe Clement Norwich side is frightening. It still feels like we're in version. I'd say we're in like version 1.1 of Philippe Clement football. He's got his first signing through the door. He's got a few players back fit. Yes, he's still missing out on Sienats and Topic, a few others, but you've got the bulk of them back now, particularly in that defensive line. So it's not the days of Tony Springett at left back and co, but it's certainly not, all out attack. But yeah, just imagine a January transfer window, a summer transfer window, a little bit of confidence, the Atanasio money. Suddenly, you can start to dream, right? And that's really exciting. It's really exciting. Mr. Radio Floyd, this should give the team a real boost. It's confidence, right? They're humans. The momentum in sport is a real thing. It's a real thing. I mean, look at those statistics. We've got less possession, less shots, way less corners, less passes. I mean, Norwich have just had that quality in the final third, and we've been on the flip side of these performances where you're like, how have we lost that? Or I've said it loads, but it's the one that sticks out. Stoke. I thought the teams were very similar for that game, but ultimately the quality showed. I mean, this has been an absolute masterclass in finishing. That third goal for me was the one I looked at and went, yeah, that makes me really happy. Jovan McCarmer doing the business, holding the ball up, proper number 9, performance there. Sprays it out to Papa Amadou Diallo, who's making a run down that left-hand side and driving his defender. I've been desperate to see that from my wingers this season. And then Anas Ben Slimane, a number 10 who's been completely and utterly revolutionised under Philippe Clement. And that combination just makes me so cheerful, much like it makes me cheerful when I see silky footwork from the ABS going into new signing Ali Ahmed rifling at top corner, much like it makes me happy when I see 19-year-old Oscar Schwartau driving deep from the number 10 position and rifling at bottom corner, much like it makes me happy when I see the random nature of Ben Cresene up from a free kick and just thwonking one into the top right-hand corner. All of those things make me very cheerful. Random elements of football and just, good, fun goals in Ben Cresene and really well-worked off the training ground goals like we saw for that Anis Ben Slimane third. West Brom coming forwards here, and that's gone wide. Vladan Kovacevic, Jose Cordoba, Rory McConville still keep their clean sheet for now. Wow. Did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. The performance against Wrexham was good, and it was a brilliant win, but I thought, can we back it up now? West Brom, new manager, they need points. They're at home. I was going to say Hawthorns would be bouncing. There's about 16 of them there, so they'd have to shout incredibly loud to get that place bouncing. But you get my point, right? Tuesday night away game, always going to be tough. We've come and we've absolutely dismantled them. I mean, this has been an absolute schooling in finishing. Kovacevic has been booked for time wasting, which I don't quite understand. We've fallen up. Anyway, that is what it is. Vladan Kovacevic will be Vladan Kovacevic. Slightly balmy individual, but I love him. The lovable rogue. 87 minutes, nearly 88 minutes on the clock. Is there any goals left in this one? Jack Stacey thinks maybe there is. Oh my goodness, Anis Ben Slimane. I thought he was going to be in again there. It was a poor touch actually from ABS. Maybe a little fine-tuning session in the garage scheduled for tomorrow with chief mechanic Philippe Clement. It's Eleanor says, these are the same players. It's night and day, isn't it, Ella? It's absolutely night and day. Sometimes I think in football, sometimes I look at it and go, is the head coach role kind of like overrated? You know, is it bigger than the head coach? And then people like Philippe Clement come through the door, and I go, no, it's not. You know, a good, respectable, well-oiled head coach has the ability to completely reshape an entire football club, and that is the mission that Clement had. He inherited a mess. There were protests. It was nasty. It was toxic. We were in the bottom three. We were miles adrift. And he's come in, and in the space of, what is it, 2 months, has taken us from that into a team that can go away to West Brom on a Tuesday night and stick 4 goals past them. I mean, I can't say it enough. You know, Anis Ben Slimane, Tony Springett, Pel Matson, Jose Cordoba, they were nowhere to be seen. And there's another chance here, and this should be 5-0. It's Papa Amadou Diallo. 5-0. Matthias Chris Gordon gets his goal. Norwich City have their 5th. West Brom 0, Norwich City 5. This is quickly going down as a historic night for Philippe Clement's Norwich City team. It was well worked, high up the pitch. It was Papa Amadou Diallo who gets himself another assist, and it's into Matthias Chris Gordon. I am delighted to see him on the goal sheet. 5-0. Oh, my goodness me. It was brilliant work from Papa Amadou Diallo, and it was Matthias Chris Gordon with a tap-in. This couldn't be going any better. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Buzzing for Matthias Chris Gordon. He's had a tough season of it so far. Buzzing to see Papa Amadou Diallo. Is that his 2nd assist of the evening? I think it is. Wow. Wow, 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 and another wow. 1,200 of you in here joining me for a really, really marvelous watch along. I mean, this takes me back to the days of that second promotion under Daniel Farker, the watch alongs. You know, just rocking up to places and knowing you're going to win. And I tell you what, there might be a 6th goal on the cards here. Norwich City aren't stopping. They scored 5 against Walsall. That was League 2 opposition. People question how much can you read into that? Well, seemingly quite a lot. Poor ball from Kenny McLean. I want a 6th. I want a 6th. This is absolutely remarkable. I need to take my glasses off. Am I seeing things? I mean, Papa Amadou Diallo is dancing around players and playing in Matthias Chris Gordon. What? Coventry up next. I mean, I said it on the pod. I fancy us against Coventry, and if you're Coventry, I mean, what I think were they drawing earlier? Let's have a look what they're up to. I mean, they're getting chased hard by Ipswich. Coventry are winning against Millwall. Okay, so that keeps their distance between Ipswich. But you'd rather be the hunting than the hunted. And my goodness, Clement has assembled a hungry pack of dogs to hunt down their prey. I mean, what a welcome to English football this is for Ramsey, the West Brom head coach who's come over from the MLS. I mean, he needs a little word with Ali Ahmed in terms of how to adapt to the English game quickly from America. All the storylines this evening as well, just really nice. Matthias Chris Gordon getting on the score sheet. Ali Ahmed, first goal for Norwich City. Anis Ben Slimane, fully deserved. Joff McCarmer, you know, in his moment when we needed him and we needed him to hold the ball up, he's done it and played his man. And Oscar Schwartau, excellent in the number 10. Every player contributing tonight in such a beautiful way. Richard says, I'm sat here with a stupid grin on my face. Put this passion in my veins on the ball, City. Richard, great to see you. NCFC Timmy Timms, completely agree. Start tweeting him at Chris Revo. Chris, stay at home for the watch-alongs. This is brilliant. James Mallet, morning from Melbourne. Great watch-along on my way to work. I mean, what a way to start your day. Here in the UK, we're finishing our day with Norwich City. Imagine starting your day with Philippe Clement. I mean, that would be like drugs into the veins, just electrifying. Imagine the first thing in the day you see is Anis Ben Slimane dancing through defenders. You must think you're in some sort of lucid dream. And then you sort of drift back off to sleep and wake up and Papa Amadou Diallo dancing through defenders. You're like, what the fuck? Drift back off to sleep, wake up, Ben Crescente's rifling one in top corner. Yeah, it's got to be a dream. It's got to be a dream, lads. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not a dream. What you're watching is Philippe Clement football in its glorious best. It's been completely and utterly ruthless in this second half. What was that? 4 second half goals? Incredible. And I tell you what, we probably should have a sixth here. Jose Cordoba. Poor ball into Papa Amadou Diallo, but he's still got it. And that's a goal kick. Probably the only point of tonight where we've actually been wasteful. We could have had a sixth there. Bet right. I've just priced up Norwich City to get top 6 this season. It's 20-1. I will link that in the description of tomorrow's video. 20-1 for Norwich City to finish top 6. And I tell you what, 13 points off. I think I'd probably fancy it after that. Norwich City 5. Yes, that's right. Norwich City 5. West Bromwich Albion 0. At the Hawthorns. 5-star Norwich City. Oscar Schwartau, Anis Ben Slimane, Ben Crescente, Matthias Chris. Let's do it from the top. Let's just keep going through the goal scorers. Oscar Schwartau, Ali Ahmed, Anis Ben Slimane, Ben Crescente, Matthias Chris Gordon. 5-0. We had less shots. We had less possession. We had less corners. We had less passes. But that was an absolute clinic in ruthless finishing from Norwich City. Philippe Clement, get the contract out. Get the paper out. Put fresh ink in the fountain pen. Give that man what he wants. Remarkable performance from Norwich City and a remarkable turnaround from Philippe Clement. Thank you so much to Captain Cruel. 5 for 5-0. This is huge for us up the Belgium. Yeah, that I would say is more, well, no, probably not more important, but that is absolutely huge for Norwich City. And most importantly, gets us out of the bottom 3 for the first time in God knows how long. We are now up to 20th. We are now 2 points above Blackburn and Portsmouth and 6 points above Oxford. We go just 2 points behind Charlton and Sheffield United. We are 3 points away from 16th place. Mr. Radio Floyd says, game over. Yes, indeed. Benny Van Lijst says, I can't even remember everyone who scored. Mate, not a bad thing. I barely do as well. There were so many goals. Half of the team scored for Norwich City tonight. Not perfect fractions, but you get my drift. Wow. Kind of speechless after that. I mean, I was hopeful of a point, maybe. I didn't think we were going to lose, but to go to West Brom and beat them by 5-0 is absolutely remarkable. And that was a taste, a proper taste. That was, that was more than you taste the menu. Of what Philippe Clement is capable of. And I think that is a message from Philippe Clement to his board to go, now back me. Now give me the money. And they will. And they will. The Atanasios will. And I think that's kind of the saving grace in this whole situation of this season is there's always been a belief from me that the Atanasios are a good ownership group. And yes, they have they've made slightly naive decisions and maybe haven't got some things right, but they've got money and they'll be willing to back the right people. And I think they've got the right person now. Well, I know they've got the right person in Philippe Clement. Remarkable. And actually, yes, it might be early to be going with this, but I think probably the most talented and together manager we've had in a very, very long time. Very, very long time. You know, you can't look past the Daniel Farkers and the Paul Lamberts and the Alex Neils of the world for the titles that they delivered us. But in terms of pedigree, I mean, is Philippe Clement the best manager we've had in the last 20 years? Probably. Probably, if you're looking at the CV and you're looking at what he's done in such a short space of time. Wow. Just wow. Thank you so much for watching this evening. I really appreciate it. I'll have a few more minutes on here, and then I'm going to try and sum up those 5 goals in a relatively concise match review. But yeah, that was a that was a proper performance, and yeah, Chaz Tats, that was sensational from front to back. The last time we scored 5 goals away from home, April 2011. Is that right? Yeah, I think it probably is right, isn't it? What's that? 15 years ago. My friends, thank you for watching. Review tonight. We'll have a video out tomorrow about some of the transfer rumours circling at the moment. And I'm going to release some special prices from BetRight as well. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. I'm sure you will. Take care. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.